Mark, did you hear Jim is retiring?
Jim Vance is retiring?
No, not Jim Vance. Jim Farley.
Farley?
Jim Farley, T.O.P., the guy that gave us our first job.
The older guy in the corner office who used to pray for snow?
That's right, Jim Farley. He's retiring. You didn't know that?
No, I didn't. Wow. Does this tie make me look fat?
No, you look good.
Oh, so do you, man.
Oh, I got a ton of memories of Jim, but I can't.
Wow, that was a funny moment there in the video last night at Jim Farley's farewell dinner. You know, I was there, but nobody saw me. I'm like, I wore camo. I wore everything. I was completely encased in camo, and nobody saw me. I blended in. If you looked over there at the potted palm in the corner, who's calling? Betsy Ronstein again. Oh, man, stop calling me, lady. Let's see, what's my mail today? Oh, a check. It's always good to get a check.
Hi, Dave. It's Betsy. I need some advice about the Daily Caller.
Can I speak to David Huff?
David Huff? Who? Betsy. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. So anyhow, the big shindig last night with Jim Farley. Anyhow, so there, you know, other big news. Everybody's leaving WTOP. I mean, today we hear Bob Madigan's leaving. You know, Bob is the man about town, and he's leaving WTOP now. It's like, holy cow! The last person to WTOP, please turn out the light. Wow. So anyhow, Bob Madigan will be retiring up in Maine. I guess everybody's getting out while the getting's good, huh? I don't know. All right, welcome to Dave TV for the 5th of December, 2013. How you all doing, everybody? Joe Cipriano. Remember Joe? You remember when WKYS had a disco format? You know, WKYS, there used to be WRC-FM back in the 70s, and they flipped it over to being the WKYS, and it was Disco 939. And I remember that. And one of their DJs on there was a guy named Joe Cipriano. And Joe Cipriano, he worked there, and he worked over at Mix 107, not Mix, but it was WRQX, I think when it was back Q107. And a very famous voice. He's a nationally known voiceover announcer. I think he's now based out in L.A. But he's going to be here in town on Wednesday, December the 11th, 6 p.m. at Clad's and Chevy Chase to sign his new book called Living on Air, Adventures in Broadcasting. And Jim Bohannon of Westwood One will be the MC. And Joe has said he will send me a signed copy because, of course, I can't escape from my little condo here. I'm stuck here. I can't get over there for that. But, so when he does, we will review it right here on DCR TV. How about that? So the big radio ratings came out. Well, actually, it's just the weeklies. And when you look at the 6+ numbers, WMAL is doing pretty good, thank you. You know, a lot of people have said, Dave, you're awful hard on that WMAL. You're just a little too hard on them. Bill Hess is a mighty nice guy. So let's take a look at the 6+ numbers, okay? For WMAL, this is the first week of December, which is actually somewhere in mid-November. Don't ask me why they do that, but it is. First week of December, WMAL mornings, 4th place. 4th place for Larry and Brian. Brian Wilson and Larry O'Connor. 2nd place for middays. So, they tell me that's Chris Plan in there. Chris Plan is just getting stellar ratings. And it's because it's such a effing funny show. It's funny. It's hilarious. It is the funniest thing on Washington radio. In fact, I hear that Bill Hess is going to put a laugh track on it very soon. Right? 13th place for Hannity. Of course, they're jettisoning Hannity at the end of the year with all those Cumulus stations. So it'll be interesting to see. 9th place all day. That's in the 6+ numbers. That includes all the old farts, by the way. But anyhow, it'd be interesting to see if Hannity's going to get picked up anywhere here in the Washington market. I don't know. Haven't heard of that. When we look at the 2554 numbers, WMAL is down a little bit lower. Okay, they're down at 16th place. Full day, 18th place in mornings, 8th place in midday, 7th place, 17th place in afternoon. So, but top stations again were the AMU in the overall numbers and Hot 99.5 in the Manny demo. WTOP was second in the Manny demo. The Manny demo. The Manny demo meaning all the Mannies in the market, and they were also second in the overall numbers. So there for them, but. Blah, blah. But, I'm not seeing anything shocking in the numbers. Same old. Whatever. Interesting. It was just a weird day yesterday. I'm getting all this incoming flack that there's some sort of a standoff going on over there at CBS's Lanham headquarters with some sort of a personal situation, domestic dispute going on. And nobody will talk about it. It's not in any news site anywhere. Nobody at CBS will talk about it. But a number of folks have said something was up there. So, but I don't know. What can I do? If no one wants to talk about it, on the record especially, I can't do anything about it. But something was up. Anywho, that's interesting to listen to the Junkies this morning as they really amazingly got a ton of press over this Rob Ford interview. They were in Atlantic City. They're doing their Junkies Poker Open or whatever. And they line up, to get Rob Ford, who's the kind of crazy, controversial mayor of Toronto, who's admitted to smoking crack cocaine and doing a bunch of other crazy things, very outspoken. I think he's up for re-election soon, and I'm pretty sure he's not going to get re-elected. I think it'd be very, very surprising if he does. So he's kind of out on his last 15 minutes of fame here from Andy Warhol. But anyhow, it's amazing how much coverage this thing got. It's on WJFK there for like 10 minutes this morning. I'm just talking football and college football and pro football. And then the Junkies try to throw in a few political questions, which he kind of dances around. But he said enough so that the Toronto Star actually minutes later gets a big story up about what he said. He said something that, flipped everybody off over there in Toronto. But it's just interesting to see how, and then CNN and Fox News and everybody's covering it. Now whether it's going to mean any ratings for the Junkies, the Junkies did okay in the latest ratings. What are they, 9th place in the, well, let me check. The 6+ they weren't so hot in. Junkies, JFK. WJFK was 17th place. Junkies were tied for 8th place in the overall numbers, and in the money demo, JFK was 12th place with the Junkies in 6th place, so they do pretty well. Is this going to mean much for their ratings? A one-day little jump there, a bunch of people tuning in to hear this kind of kooky mayor from Toronto. I don't know. Yeah, but I'm sure the Junkies got pretty good ratings there in Toronto. Hey, we're number 1 in Toronto. Remember Chum, CHUM? I used to listen to them all the time back in the top 40 days. 1050 Chum. Remember that? Yeah. a really cool, I think it was 1050 Chum, wasn't it? Yeah, 1050 Chum. I used to listen to them on my AM radio. They were a cool top 40 station back in the 70s. Right. TV3 Winchester is apparently history. I went to college at JMU in Harrisonburg, Virginia, and I took my television set down there. This was in the 70s, and I had a little black and white TV, and I turned it on, and I can get like 2 channels, Channel 3 and Channel 51. PBS and ABC. And Channel 3 was WHSV. It still is WHSV. It's an ABC station down there, but they also had this thing called TV3 Winchester because their signal goes all the way up the Shenandoah Valley there to Winchester. And so the counties around Winchester would get this feed from them, or you could watch it on Channel 3's, one of their sub-channels called TV3. And they ran newscasts and stuff that were geared to the Winchester area. Well, apparently, Gray Television, which now owns Channel 3, has pulled the plug on that. There were about 12 folks working there, staffers at that. I don't know if they're going to just go back to work at regular Channel 3 or whatever, but apparently, advertising-wise, it just didn't work out. But it was a cool idea, I think. But again, the Winchester area is kind of a little area. So you wonder, to support a television newscast. I don't know about that. But anyhow, Will Ferrell, Anchorman 2 is opening soon. I don't know. Anchorman 1, I didn't think it was that funny. It had about 10 minutes of funny in it. The rest of the movie was kind of eh. I don't know. I have a feeling Anchorman 2 is going to be the same way. 10 minutes of funny. It's like they take a Saturday Night Live sketch that's 10 minutes and try to expand it to 90, and the humor doesn't quite hold it up. But anyhow, we'll see if that movie's any funnier than the first one. But Will Ferrell is going to be Arch Campbell's guest on the Arch Campbell Show on News Channel 8. This is my Thursday Dave TV, so that's tonight at 8:30 on News Channel 8, Friday at 8:30 on News Channel 8, and repeats at 9 o'clock on Saturday evening on News Channel 8. So the great Arch Campbell there, also joined by Nigel. Nigel, good arms. You can tell he lifts weights. Muscular dude there, Nigel. Clark, what's his name? I was going to say Mark Clark. Mark something or other. I don't know. My brain's going. Damn it, I can't remember his name. Anyhow, we'll call him Mark Clark. All right, folks. Thanks for watching Dave TV for this 5th of December, 2013. And check out, we got some really cool tributes to Jim Farley there. We had Frank Herzog penning a really nice tribute to Jim Farley and some other radio greats. Sean Hall, of course, he's not. Who knows who Sean Hall is, right? Unless you're in the radio business. But he a nice tender comment there to Mr. Farley, and it was very nice to read. Anyhow. All right, folks. Thanks for watching Dave TV for the 5th of July, the 5th of December. Look, it's only 5:30 and it's pitch black out there. Book 'em, Dano.